Welcome to the Purple Elephant Show. I am your host, KC Phoenix, and it is the weekend. So now it is time for the official Purple Elephant Show, which is mostly a weekend show. For those of you who may not know, the Morning Political Thought is a supplement to the Purple Elephant Show, but the Purple Elephant Show itself is mostly a weekend show. ThePurpleElephantShow.com is the main podcasting platform. The Purple Elephant Show on Instagram, on Parler, Facebook.com/The Purple Elephant Show, on Twitter at RealTPES. If you're watching this on BitChute, Dailymotion, or YouTube, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Also on YouTube, you have to hit the subscribe button followed by the notification bell. That will let you know when I upload new episodes. I'm all fresh and clean now because what I do is my hair grows out during the week and then I shave it on the weekend. And I literally just cut and shaved my hair. So here I am. All right, let's go ahead and get to this with the story. So Mike Pompeo is talking about that the State Department has some of Hillary Clinton's emails. I'm at the point now where I kind of don't care. I would care more if something would happen, but we all know there's like a 85 to 90% chance nothing will come of this. They could release emails saying that she was plotting the murder of someone or suicide. And nothing would happen. I remember, I forgot who it was. It was this one channel, and they went down a laundry list of names of people who were within the circle, and all of these people happened to commit suicide. And they were going person after person after person. And that was a you have to laugh to keep from crying moment, because it's like, really? So the State Department releasing the emails, whether they release some of the emails or all of the emails, it's not going to be that big of a deal. I'll read this article. It's on the Washington Times for sourcing purposes, for those who want to know. All right. The Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, said Friday he plans to release additional emails that Hillary Clinton sent or received when she led the State Department under President Barack Obama. We've got the emails. We're getting them out. We're going to get all this information out so the American people can see it, Mr. Pompeo said. Why are they calling him Mr. Pompeo? Why don't they call him Secretary Pompeo? Mr. Pompeo said during the television interview aired on Fox News. We're doing it as fast as we can, Pompeo said later in the segment. I certainly think there will be more to see before the election, he added. And you know what? Before I go to the next part of this article, the other reason that this doesn't matter, Hillary Clinton isn't running. There is a saying that people used to say all the time in school. When someone was gossiping about someone and then it got back to the person that was being talked about, and then that person would approach them, the person would say, "Keep your name out of my mouth." Even though for this show, let me make this clear, and I may upset some people and so on and so forth, and I'm willing to live with that because I'm a person who says what I believe. I don't say what I believe people want to hear. So let's make that very clear. If Hillary Clinton is not running, why bring her up? Yes, we know that she was the one who okayed the whole Russia thing to begin with. But saying that, well, we're about to release these emails right before the election because the people need to know, she's not on the ballot. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are on the ballot. Hillary Clinton isn't on the ballot. There isn't anything that can be done related to that. If anything, the person who should be looking at Hillary Clinton's emails to see if they can pull more information to possibly set up charges would be Durham, which my next episode is going to be about Durham because Durham is doing an investigation into something else, and I'm going to talk about that in the next episode. But during this episode, Mike Pompeo talking about, and don't get me wrong, Mike Pompeo is probably my favorite person in the Trump administration. He is the good soldier. He toes the line. He does what he's supposed to do. He isn't out writing tons of books. He's working hard for the country. He's one of my favorite, if not my most favorite person. He definitely deserves MVP. So let me make that clear about how I feel about Mike Pompeo. For this, I don't care. I don't care. And I wish other people didn't care as much about it too. Now, I would care if they said, oh, well, we're in the process of releasing these to John Durham, or we're in the process of releasing these emails to the DOJ, or whatever. But just saying, oh, well, we're going to release these just so the people know, we already know. We already know she's crooked. We already know that the whole thing was a hoax. We already know the Clinton Foundation was a money laundering scheme. We already know all of this. We already know it was pay to play. We already know there could be RICO charges if a real prosecutor were to pick up the case. We already know all of this. So saying that, well, we're releasing it so the American people, we know. And the people who don't know, that's because they don't follow the correct news sources. 80% of the media is Democrat. So they're going to run cover for her. George Stephanopoulos used to work for the Clintons. The list goes on and on and on of people who used to work for the Clintons in the Obama administration and so on and so forth. And I'm not saying that that is necessarily a bad thing because Fox News also has people who have worked in previous Republican administrations. What I'm saying is that when the majority of news has a bunch of people who used to work for Democrat administrations, they're not going to cover major news. So saying that we plan to release it, it's not that huge of a deal. Now, let me get back to this article. So, Mr. Pompeo, a former Republican congressman, was responding specifically to remarks Trump made recently about emails stored on the private server of Mrs. Clinton, used while Secretary of State. The president referenced Mrs. Clinton's private email server routinely when the two competed for the White House in 2016, recently beginning to bring the matter up again as Election Day draws near. They're in the State Department, but Mike Pompeo is unable to get them out, which is very sad, actually, Mr. Trump said Thursday on Fox News. Actually, I'm not happy about him for that. She deleted 33,000 emails. She should be in jail for that. Yeah, duh, President Trump added. He didn't add the duh part, I did. Added Friday afternoon on the Rush Limbaugh show. Asked about Mr. Trump's remarks, Mike Pompeo said the State Department plans to release more emails involving Mrs. Clinton soon. He did not make it clear if the emails were previously deleted. However, an investigation conducted by the State Department found no persuasive evidence of systematic, deliberate mishandling of classified information relating to Mrs. Clinton's private server. Federal prosecutors have similarly decided against bringing criminal charges against Mrs. Clinton in the matter. And that is all we have for that article. I've already made it clear how I feel about this. I'm done. And I know Secretary Pompeo was towing the line because obviously President Trump is still irritated about it, but I feel President Trump is complaining about the wrong thing to the wrong person. When he retweeted what he retweeted of the picture with John Durham, and I believe it was Chris Farley, screaming, arrest someone, that's who President Trump, which I get it with Bill Barr. They're trying to cross their T's and dot their I's. I get that. And now that John Durham is investigating something else, which I plan to go into on my next episode, that makes sense where this whole thing stretches so far and deals with so many little things, this hoax, that is taking forever to unearth certain things. Now, other things, I guess the other reason charges haven't been brought yet, I'm playing devil's advocate here. The other reason that charges haven't been brought yet is because even though we know all of this stuff with Joseph Mitsou, Stefan Halper, Glenn Simpson, Fusion GPS, Veselnitskaya, Alexander Downer, Christopher Steele, Kevin Klein-Smith, James Baker, Bruce Orr, Nellie Orr, the list goes on and on and on and on and on. We know all of this. Even though we know all of this stuff, to bring it all together, they need, I believe they are attempting to make sure they have every single piece, that no piece of the puzzle is missing, where they have 95% of the puzzle and they could throw 95% of the puzzle out there. And if you see 95% of a puzzle, you can pretty much figure out what the picture is. But 95% of the puzzle is still an incomplete puzzle. It's not 100%. And I feel Bill Barr, him being old school, because I said this before in one of my episodes, when I believe the title of the episode was My Instincts Tell Me Bill Barr is Livid. You can go listen to that episode or watch it. Bill Barr is old school. And I believe because he's so old school, and I'm playing devil's advocate here, he does not want to just throw something out that is incomplete. He doesn't want to throw something out at 95%. And it is frustrating. I'm frustrated. I'm sure you're frustrated. Tons of people are frustrated because we're seeing all of this stuff, all this information, everything come out from being declassified, whether it was declassified by John Ratcliffe or declassified by Rick Grinnell or whatever. All of this stuff being declassified by the president. Recently, you know about that. Where it's like, okay, we're seeing all of this evidence, but we're not seeing any indictments, except for the Kevin Klein-Smith changing the CIA communication in regards to Carter Page, saying that Carter Page was not an asset when the CIA said in their communication, Carter Page was an asset of the United States. All right. So that's the only thing that we've seen. And all of the stuff that happens on the other side with wiping the phones, which happened with the Mueller team and also happened with Hillary Clinton and her team as well. So the frustration is there. This email thing, no. However, devil's advocate, I believe Bill Barr and John Durham, because everything stretches so far, because the corruption is so insidious. I don't know, and I know I'm going off on a tangent here. I don't know if anybody remembers the movie American Gangster. If you haven't seen the movie American Gangster, check it out sometime. It's with Denzel Washington, and it's based on true events. And it was about this guy who became this big-time drug dealer. And in the end, oh, hold on. Spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't seen American Gangster. I'm about to spoil it. In the end, he gets caught, as most drug dealers do. Not all, but most. And he copped a plea deal to help put away crooked cops within the New York Police Department. Well, the evidence that he provided against the policemen wiped out about half of their, actually no, not about half, it was more than half. It was more than half of their force. That's how corrupt it was during that time. And he provided all of the evidence against all of those crooked cops at the time. Like I said, the movie's American Gangster. If you haven't seen it, check it out sometime. I'm pretty sure it was more than half. I want to say 2/3. It was some ridiculous amount. Indictments left and right. I believe, and I bring up that movie and that story because I believe this is somewhat the case, not the rank and file, but the upper echelons, the 2% or whatever you want to call it of these intelligence agencies, the upper echelons, the 2%, let's just call them the 2%ers. Within the 2%ers, I feel like more than half of the 2%ers are corrupt related to this. That's how insidious this whole thing is, and that's how nefarious it is. It runs deep. And because of that reason, I feel like that's why Bill Barr and John Durham feel like they cannot present a puzzle that is just 95% complete. Regardless of how much stuff gets declassified, regardless of how many people, him and Haw, me included, including the president, including Maria Bartiromo, including Rick Grinnell, including Donald Trump Jr., including whoever, no matter how much we all him and Haw, Bill Barr is old school. The rules are the rules. And he and John Durham do not want to put out a puzzle that is only 95% complete. They want to put out a puzzle that is 100% complete so you can have the entire picture. That's my instinct on this, and that is me playing devil's advocate. But as for Hillary Clinton's emails, I don't give a damn about Hillary Clinton's emails, especially before the election. She's not on the ballot. So, I said my piece on that. ThePurpleElephantShow.com, main podcasting platform. The Purple Elephant Show on Instagram, Parler, Facebook.com/The Purple Elephant Show, Twitter @RealTPES. If you're watching this on BitChute or Dailymotion or YouTube, then don't forget to hit the subscribe button on YouTube, also followed by the notification bell. Thank you to everyone for your support, for listening to the show, for watching the show, for subscribing to the show. It means more to me. I glance at the analytics from time to time. I know I have listeners literally all over the world, especially in Ireland, which always makes me raise an eyebrow, but I love it. It means more to me than you will ever know. Until next time, I will have up another show shortly, which will talk about what John Durham is investigating now. Be blessed.